Yabble. Subscribe and like for more videos.
Hey there, thanks for tuning in. So remember in August when Nintendo got sued by GameVice, the creators of the Wiikipad Android gaming tablet? Well, they decided after the Switch was released to file a lawsuit against Nintendo claiming that they stole the idea for the removable controls on the device. Around that time, I just so happened to be starting up a Wii Portable build myself. This is a project that I wanted to have a go at for some time now. Since everyone is slamming GameVice for their attack on Nintendo, and I currently don't own a Switch myself, why not combine these two companies' products? So I decided to make mine out of the controller accessory for GameVice's Wiikipad. Let's take a look. Alright, so I've already shown you what the Wiikipad Switch is. Now I'm going to highlight the steps and show you how I was able to build it. In this video, I will be going over the FRANKENCASIng process. That's where you take a few different plastic enclosures and combine them together with different specialized glues and epoxies, and then you add filler and sand smooth to make it look seamless. Then from there, I'm able to place the electronics inside and wire everything up. You can do this process to most ABS plastic type casings. It is a great way to customize the look and feel of any console, controller, cartridge, you name it. Let's watch how I took the Wiikipad controller and glued a rectangular case onto the back and closed this Frankencased unit nice and secure. Check it out.
Fight!
Alright, here I'm drilling a hole between the two cases so I can bridge them, make a nice solid vent for my fan so that take in the air and then shoot it up the case. Just trimming it up a little bit, making everything kind of flush on the inside so there's more room to put parts like the batteries and other connectors and the motherboards. It's a lot of work cleaning it up nice and smooth, but in the end it's really worth it. You add a lot more space inside the case. And here's where I had a few screw posts. I just decided that I needed to remove those as well. They actually were for the back of the case to attach the two parts together, and eventually I'm going to have to add some magnets to the inside and the outside of the casing so that the two halves can connect. That'll work really slick because then I can pop the back off fairly easily if I want to, but it'll hold tight. And there was also a few other spots where I needed to remove some of the plastic. Over on that side I'm going to be adding the batteries. Back here there was some posts that were for the speaker. It was actually for the tablet speakers to shoot the sound to the front of the case while you're playing games. And those weren't needed anymore because I'm actually putting speakers inside this. Doing all this adds a lot more space. You just try to make it look flush, and then you can add a lot more electronic components inside. Alright, so I've added some epoxy and a little bit of filler, some Bondo spot putty and all that to create a little bridge between the two cases. So I connected the two now, I added a little bit of plastic glue to make this nice and smooth on the inside and connect it nice and secure. So I found a spot to put the fan. I think I'm going to mark here, and then we'll go and cut this with the Dremel. Basically, you just want a few large openings for this for your fan so that it can really suck in some air. You don't need a whole lot, but you do want them fairly large if you're only going to do a few. I wasn't really looking to make something super precise, you know, as long as it works. And I've built a few cases before, so I decided that I want to try and freehand this as much as I can to help improve my skills that way. Now we're gonna add a coat of paint. This is going to be my final color for the case, but it also works great as a primer. And I'm just adding a little bit, so I'm not going too heavy for this first coat, just enough to cover it and add that color so that I can see where I need to continue to work. I really want to make this look nice and smooth and really bridge the two plastic enclosures together. I think that adding a few layers and sanding and just, you know, keep building it up until it looks nice is the goal. So I'm going to sand some of the casing now. Doing it piece by piece, just making it look nice and flush and sanding any extra spot putty off that I had. I had to go through this process a few times to really make it snug with the casing, but you know, if you just slowly go at it, it looks really nice in the end. I added some more spot putty to the back of the casing to give it more of a flush finish between the two pieces, and in the end it'll look really good once I put another few coats of paint on. And I definitely suggest stepping up with your size of grit for the sandpaper, so you want to go with a more coarse one. I started around like 150, I just sanded it really well, and then stepped up from there a few grits, go like 220, and then step it up to like 500, 1,000, and then maybe 1,500 to 2,000, and you could go all the way up to 4,000 or 8,000 if you really wanted to. But usually if you do a good paint job in the end with a nice clear coat, it looks really good. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you can be notified when part 2 comes out. For now, I need to work on some of the electronic components, so that'll be in a later update. This is the end of part 1. Till next time, this is Nobble. Don't forget to check out the BitBuilt forums at bitbuilt.net, and thanks for watching.
Ivan says, check out bitbuilt.net for more high-tech electronic modifications.